Welcome back. Uncle Jimmy's still in Cabo with the blue M&Ms, drinking margaritas. All right, so we'll get to the highlight from our discussion earlier about Jimmy Garoppolo. I said then, and I say now, Jimmy G String's choice of public companion tells us something about his personality that might make him unfit to be a franchise quarterback.
Time to worry? Not enough good evidence out there for us not to panic. I mean, if you think about who he is, you don't even know what that is.
All right, Marcellus, let me ask you a question before we get to our approval rating. Do you think Jimmy G will get benched this season?
I'm going to answer it like this. Because of the money that they gave him, got to think $127 million. The hopes of him being a franchise quarterback has to die on that football field. Not get wounded, die on that field. So then when he goes to the sidelines, everyone's like, oh, we're done with him. We can discard him. So no, he doesn't get benched. It has to get ugly for the justification of that money. That was premature to give him that money. You can't be premature in reaction by saying, we're just going to bench him after week 4. I understand that may be at the sacrifice of a season and at the love of your backup, Nathan Mullins, but you gave him too much to just say, nah, we're good. It's been 4 more games post-injury.
I'm going to answer it this way. I'm 75% sure by week 8 he'll be benched.
Whoa.
And I say that because I think Kyle Shanahan is a savage. And I think that he's a win now. I ain't waiting until later. And they like Nick Mullins. This kid, Nick Mullins got him 3 of their 4 victories last year. And I think they like him. And so I think the guy gets benched midway through the season. Now, again, I have not completely given up on him. That's just my prediction of where this is headed. If you go look at what the Shanahans, Kyle and his Mike, were willing to do, RG3 and Kirk Cousins, Donovan McNabb, when the quarterback playing right, they take action.
Man, once you said Kyle Shanahan, I forgot. I was like, the Sopranos, dog. They don't give a damn. You gonna end up somewhere. They get rid of you and the body.
Yes.
You're right there.
All right, so let's get to our approval rating. I've got Jimmy G all the way down to a dumpster fire. 2 in job performance.
1 game preseason.
2 in all-time greatness. He's already played 8 games. Got a great contract.
That's true.
Dropped his character to a 10, or, at 10, and because of the porn star, and a 24 authenticity. He keeps it real.
I mean, look, that porn star was on Rodeo. Where did they have food? Like, that was in Beverly Hills primetime. So I'll give him authenticity 25. You can't get more real than that. But his all-time greatness is higher. 1, he got a $127 million contract. You got him at a 2. And then he has 2 rings. Don't forget about them rings he got on the bench. That counts.
Brady loaned him 2 rings.
Hey, Gronkowski got one of them lent to him.
Internet agrees with me. You got him at role player. So they got him lower at scout team.
Yeah. Not dumpster fire. Don't try to claim that.
I think our fans are right. All right, Rachel Bernetta, lock it in. Next.
No longer have a threat of having to stack 7, 8, and 9 people in the box to try and stop this man from running the ball. So to do it that way, I don't think you try and stop Dak from getting paid, but you just make it, tell him, look at the body of work. You're going to have to pay me if you want to have success. You want to make it to a Super Bowl? Any chance, you need Zeke in there, period.
The rungs on the ladder of success are not built on the backs of your teammates, right? Those are not the rungs you're stepping over to get your money. Don't fall for the narrative of, oh, it's cap, it's salary cap. There is plenty. There is plenty of money. You've got Tyron Smith making $15 million a year. You've got Zach Martin making 14, Cooper making 13, DeMarcus Lawrence making 11, Travis Frederick making 9. You don't think you can renegotiate those contracts to long-term deals and free up money? Baloney. Of course you can. That's the way the NFL cap works. You know, the NFL always pleads, oh, we're poor. We don't have, the organizations, we're poor. We don't have the cap space when they don't want to pay you. But when they want to pay you or something comes up, you know what? They can always find the money. They can always renegotiate. There's plenty of money to pay Zach, to pay Dak, to pay Zeke, to pay everybody on that roster if you want to get that done.
You know what? I totally believe your narrative, except when it comes to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. I don't think Jerry Jones has ever been cheap with a player he likes. So I believe Jerry when he's like, I just have to have a lot of players I like. They just re-up with Jalen Smith as we've been doing this show. They announced it. That's early, young guy that they like, a linebacker they like. They have the corner, Byron Jones, they're going to have to do a deal with. Again, Amari Cooper. See, I believe, Jerry, that it's like, hey, this salary cap and with all the young players we have, we're in a tough spot. And I think just honestly, it all centers on Dak. Dak wants too much money for the kind of player he is. And it's going to affect the amount of money they can pay Ezekiel Elliott. And when Zeke Elliott hears, we're going to pay Dak like he's a top-tier quarterback, his head damn near explodes. He goes, I'm the best player. I'm the engine of this offense, but you're going to overpay this dude and underpay me? I think if he puts it out there somewhere in the public space to where people can actually talk about this and discuss it, I think Cowboys fans, I think the media, I think everybody say, hey, man, this is crazy.
They not go write the check, though. Jerry got to write the check, so.
Yeah.
Jerry's about to do something crazy, man. You do not. He's a tier 3 quarterback.
I don't see him paying that kind of. I hope he doesn't pay that kind of money for that kind of performance. Dak has given the last 3 years or so.
They're gonna pay him in the 30s.
You know what? Don't understate what just happened, y'all. Jalen Smith just got paid. Y'all remember last week, and I made mention of this, and it didn't get a lot of headlines out there, when Jerry Jones said, someone's gonna sign a deal that we like, and that's gonna set everything in motion. Jalen Smith just signed right now. Now, we all anticipated it was going to be one of the three. But Amari Cooper, we haven't mentioned his name yet. He's sitting there patiently on the sidelines just watching this public issue between Dak's value and Zeke's value. And he's going to benefit from it because Jalen Smith just benefited from it. Right. And I think Jerry's like, okay, there's two ways to handle this. Top down or bottom up. And, in terms of who... Jalen Smith is signed an early deal in part because of his issues with his injuries and in part because of his production. He's like, I got to cash in right now. Jerry might be in the works of trying to go bottom up with this. And while Dak and Zeke are letting the public have fodder about their deals, maybe they sign up everyone else and then they force the hand of those remaining because the salary cap will be in play because we've signed so many guys. We gave you your top 5 value contracts. You didn't want to sign them. Now we're signing everyone else. Who's coming up? What's left? We'll see how that plays.
I don't know. I don't know if that plays out because for me, I wouldn't go bottom up. I would go from the top of whoever I'm going to pay the most amount of money, the guy that I feel like I cannot do this without, I'm going to pay him first and I'm going to work my way down to where if I get to that bottom and now the cap is really an issue and I don't have the money left, then it's not a person that I can't live without.
But be a shrewd businessman. You got Dak for 1 more year in the franchise tag. You got Zeke for 2 more years.
If I'm a true businessman and I look at Dak's numbers, what he got? 16 games of under 200 yards over the last 3 years. He only has 4, 5, 6 games, maybe at most over 300 yards. I could get a quarterback in the draft and have him for another 2, 3 years and tell him hand the ball off to Zeke, and we're going to play action and get down the field the same way we did with you.
We're saying the same thing, basically. Right. And John Dorsey is going out there right now. He just said it in The Athletic in terms of studying the quarterback position, making a revolving door around rookie deals, and then building the team around just cheap rookie quarterbacks. So it's a real play. And if you're right, we're saying the same thing. Dak, you might get squeezed out of this situation if you don't sign the deal that's on the table.
I would say the tier 3 quarterback thing to me is like the majority of guys in my mind are tier 3 quarterbacks.
So why pay him 30-some-odd million?
Well, yeah, I mean, the going rate is the going rate for the quarterback position.
I haven't. He was only tier 3, I think, slotted.
Jimmy Garoppolo, what's he?
He ain't making 30.
I'm 27.
He's 27 and a half. And again, if Dak would take 27 and a half, they'd have a deal.
I'm just telling you, most quarterbacks, if you're not named Brady and Rodgers and maybe Breeze, right?
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
And Wilson.
All right, most quarterbacks have got to have players around them, good players around them, to be productive. I mean, this is the ultimate in complementary. Football is the ultimate complement. Like, if you don't block, I don't care how good your receiver is. If you can't block the guys up front, you know what? Your receiver doesn't make an impact.
Well, they got a good line, though. I mean,
yeah, but I'm just saying, everybody's got to be.
Mark, people get paid on potential.
Sure.
And so I think this guy can be a guy that can carry a team. That's why Kirk Cousins got paid.
Okay.
And it's a mistake.
Right. But the potential thing is, if you're going to pay a guy on potential, do it early. That's Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
Do it early so you get a good deal. The Cowboys had him targeted. They knew that he was their quarterback. You should have done this last year. You should never get it to the point where you can see on the horizon, oh my gosh, there's free agency looming. I'm going to get paid. Why would I take the good deal now? Why would I let go of my leverage now? I can see it on the horizon.
Well, I think the Cowboys and what Jerry think is, okay, Dak, okay, you get to that finish line and get to free agency and see if anybody pays you $30 million a year like we're talking about doing. I don't see it happen.
What do you think, though? I think your agent is sitting there saying, trust the market. If they're going to devalue you, trust the market.
Well, then you're going to have to franchise him. What's the franchise taking?
No, you don't have to franchise him. Draft you a rookie quarterback.
All right.
Dak, nice little run.
All right.
Go take that $22 million that Jacksonville or somebody just offered you. The same as he's got Nick Foles' value, and Nick Foles got $22 million. Dak, they're doing him a favor.
Don't do that to Dak. He has a way better resume than Nick Foles.
Nick Foles got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Patches.
I like Nick Foles
Nick
better.
Foles. Resume. What? Second most wins at the position since he's been in the league. Y'all talking about Nick Foles? Which was respect.
Wins. He got.
No, I'm just saying, Nick Foles won the playoff games, and then the next year he goes into the playoffs again. But when you put him out there 1 through 16, come on, man. You
All right, Darnell, we missed anything?
Go with Dak.
Yeah, another guy who might be playing a role in Dak's negotiations is Jimmy G, who, as you guys discussed earlier, looked horrible last night's preseason game against the Broncos. This Cowboys blog tweeted out, people really say with full confidence that they would take Jimmy G over Dak Prescott. I want to ask you guys, do you think Jimmy's poor play will actually impact Dak's